We're doing a new menu at the moment, very exciting. We're doing a salsa verde, house of roast peppers. Actually, we're going to start off with the courgettes. So my co-star today is none other than Carlos. He's going to griddle those off, and then we're going to add a bit of olive oil to them. They're going to form the outer of our ballantine. I'm going to roast off a red pepper. The best way of doing this is really just to cover it in a bit of olive oil. These days you're only allowed to use groundnut oil if you want to be super trendy, which we strive to be. So that goes in the oven. It's a bit like watching Saturday Kitchen now. That goes in. Oh yes, picked up a thing or two from that James Martin. What we're going to do is take off the outer skin, which we don't need. Fantastic, thank you. And then open it out. So, you know, this is quite good because now you know how to prepare a red pepper. I'm only going to use part of it for today. I've got some strips there, or julienne. We'll use those in a minute. The next thing I wanted to show you is onions. I'm going to put my groundnut oil in there. And whilst I do that, just get my red peppers, which I'll come back to later. That oil's coming up to a nice temperature, so I can throw some onions in. Happy with that. And I've got some chili powder. A little goes a long way. And I've also got some coriander. Yeah, coriander. And I'm going to give that a little mix around. I want to create a bit of a paste to this, just by giving those a bit of a shake. Thank you, old boy. I'm kind of going to mash them up a bit. The idea behind the haricot beans is just to get as much flavour as we possibly can in those. And the reason why Carlos is doing that is because they will dry out. Now, there's another product I want to introduce you to, which I think you might be interested in, particularly the vegetarians among you. I mean, it looks, you know, it could look better, but it tastes fantastic. And it really, you know, gives vegetarians an extra layer of flavour. It's corn bacon. I'm just going to pan fry that off, probably just add a little bit of oil to it. I'm going to add these actually in with the corn. All I did is I took a shallot potato, boiled them, and I'm going to just saute them off in this pan. So over here I'm just going to cut, I don't need that many potatoes. Olive oil, I'm just going to cover those. And I'm just going to saute these potatoes at the same time. So in they go. Just give them a bit of colour. We're going to use these as the base of what Matthew Fort would call a very contemporary plate of looking food. I met Matthew Fort once. He was selling crisps at a food fair in Olympia. What a nice man. Right, those can come off. I'm happy with all of that. All we really need to do now is the salsa verde. We're going to do what's known as a chiffonade. Just going to slice the basil. A little bit of mint. So we've got the mint, the basil, flat leaf parsley. Parsley goes in. I'm going to do a couple of cornichons, not many. Texture is quite important, so we'll get that right. So I've just diced up some cornichons. The smaller the better, I think. I'm going to dice some garlic. Here we go. Move that over there. Then an anchovy. Same sort of thing, sliced lengthways. Cut that into fine dice. That goes in. Got a green chilli. If you ever wonder why you never get any heat in a chilli, it's probably because you never put any of the seeds in. Mustard Dijon goes in. A little bit of lime juice. That can go in. White wine vinegar, quite a lot of that actually. And then finally, extra virgin olive oil. And that's it. So that's our salsa verde. One thing I forgot to tell you to do is how to cook spinach, which we have covered in other videos. But just for completeness, I'm going to do it again. A bit of groundnut oil, an onion. Let that sizzle away. And then, I don't need much spinach. I mean, that's it. So that's going to carry on cooking down. Now we're going to prepare the main part of the dish. So I'm going to lay our courgettes along here, like that. And it's kind of a bit like sushi, what we're doing. because we're going to lay different layers of filling in. Now if I can get the spinach in straight away, all to the, so much to the good, that can just go along. I'm then going to use a couple of bits of the bacon, the corn bacon, then our bean, which goes along like that. I mean, you can toast the pine nuts if you like. I just think it's quite nice to have a crunch to go with it. We're going to roll this up just to give it a sort of roulade type feel to it. Now, once it's rolled, ideally what you want to do is maybe keep it in the fridge for half an hour. What you can then do is lay it on a tray once you've got the shape that you require and just cook it off for a couple of minutes in the oven. What we're going to do is just cut that into various sort of tubes, as it were. Right, now I'm going to plate up. Right, so the sauté potatoes form the base of the dish, and then I'm going to put these on top. The salsa verde we then use there we go. A few micro herbs on top. There you have Ballantine of, I guess it would be spicy bean, vegetarian bacon, red pepper with salsa verde. Right, what are we going to do next time? I've got a masala potato dish with a coconut curry sauce, so hopefully that will whet your appetite. Thanks for watching. See you next time.